and every one of us. I have a little confession to make. Don't worry, it's a good confession. Back a few years ago when I was at St. Patrick's Cathedral, just about to be ordained, I was on the line, so to speak. The young men who were going to be ordained. The thought crossed my mind. I wasn't ready to be a priest yet. It wasn't that I had cold feet. I had been studying, praying, preparing for 8 years for that moment. But on a certain level, I wasn't ready until God gave me the grace at the exact moment Cardinal Egan laid his hands on my head and ordained me a priest. I had, humanly speaking, done everything that was needed. But I wasn't ready to be a priest yet until I received that commission from God, the sacrament. And I think sometimes when a newly ordained priest comes to the parish, we usually call them baby priest. They used to joke in the seminary, you burp in the microphone for 6 months and people tell you how great your homily was. It's true. After 6 months, it was like all the compliments stopped. But people think the newly ordained priest knows what he's doing, and he really doesn't. I mean, he looks like he knows what he's doing. He read books about what he's supposed to be doing, but he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't said a marriage yet. He hasn't baptized a baby yet. He hasn't done a lot of things yet. I did not know what I was doing. And yet I trusted that if I showed up, God would provide me with what I needed. In His good time, when He knew I was ready. And that's how God works, not just for priests, but for all of us. He has a mission for each and every one of us. He has a plan, a destiny. It's up to us to find out what it is and to fulfill it. But a lot of us run into a problem. Because we as nice modern Americans, or people growing up and living in this country especially, often have the attitude that we want to know where we're going before we set out on the journey. I had no assurance at all when I was ordained what twists and turns my life would take as a priest. In fact, Cardinal Egan was very crafty. He didn't tell us where we were going to be assigned until after he ordained us. I guess if we had found out before we didn't like it, he was just afraid we'd try to back out or something. But I didn't have that assurance. Well, this is how it's going to be. Think about it. How often we go about life with a plan. We kind of have it figured out for ourselves. Well, this is how it's going to go down. We're going to go to college and we're going to study this, and in 4 years we're going to have a degree, and then we're going to do this. And we like having that surety. And that's often not an assurity, though, that's given to us when we seek God's mission for our lives. We know that He has a plan for us, but there's no promise given to us that we know how it's going to unfold. And unfortunately, what happens is a lot of people then hold back. Well, I'm not going to begin this journey if I don't know where it's going to lead me. And we see that time and time again. In any vocation that we pursue, in any mission that we strive for, there's always that element of putting yourself out there, risking vulnerability, risking the unknown. We do it when we become priests, or when we become married people, or whatever our state